Welcome to the AC 24/7 Top Story Countdown. We'll guide you through the biggest news of the day. Our focus, advocating our rights, advocating health, and advocating Earth. Here's our pick for number 4.
It's a common disease, but millions of Americans may not even know they have diabetes, even though early detection is critical.
As soon as you can have the diagnosis made, the sooner the proper treatment can begin.
Diabetes can damage the eyes, kidneys, nerves, and heart.
If you have high blood glucose, you're more likely to have high blood pressure and high cholesterol. And those three factors, either independently and certainly working together, can damage the small vessels in our bodies.
You can prevent diabetes-related health problems by taking charge of your health. That includes adopting healthy lifestyle habits like a sensible diet. Physical activity and getting adequate sleep is also important, as is managing stress and taking medicines on time.
Smoking also has a detrimental effect on your small blood vessels. And so, especially with people with diabetes, we want to suggest that they try to stop smoking.
Experts say small health changes over time can make a big difference and may not be as overwhelming.
You could begin to make choices that you are more likely to stick to.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
TheAdvocateChannel.com looks at the world through the lens of equality and inclusion. Subscribe, like, and share now. AC 24/7's Top Story Countdown continues with our producer's pick for number 3.
Moti Leitner reads the Torah at least an hour every day. His family is one of the 1.2 million ultra-orthodox Jews, or Hasidim, who live here in Israel. For decades, many in his community have fought against Israel's mandatory military service for every Jewish Israeli man and woman as soon as they turn 18. This year, the ultra-Orthodox tried to get a law passed to exempt them from having to enlist, a major source of friction in Israeli society. Then, October 7th happened. Have you ever fired a weapon, picked up a weapon before?
No. I never held a gun or something like this.
That is about to change.
In the few days, I will go to the Israeli army.
Leitner enlisted after the murderous attack by Hamas on men, women, and children in Israel. It completely shook us, broke all conceptions, he says. We thought we had the privilege to stand at the side and not be part of, and now we realize it's just not sustainable. He says most of the ultra-Orthodox here believe their jobs are to keep the Jewish religion alive and well, spending their days studying the Torah. The Israeli military reported between 2019 and 2021, only about 1,200 or so ultra-Orthodox Jews were conscripted annually. That's out of 12,000 potential applicants. Why did the Hasidim, the ultra-Orthodox, not want to serve in the army? The ultra-Orthodox people in Israel have an ethos according to which studying Torah gives the nation a metaphysical layer of defense, he says. But he says he cannot see how that is enough now. And he says he knows many other Hasidim feel the same. I personally sat in my living room and just cried for a day. We can't just go on with our daily lives. We said never again after the Holocaust, and if we want to be able to say that again to next generations and promise our children a sustainable future, we have to solve this issue. In Hebrew, this sign says, "Together we will win." It's very rare to see this kind of nationalistic language in ultra-Orthodox neighborhoods like this one in Israel. You're also seeing a lot of Israeli flags plastered all over the place. That just doesn't really happen during normal times. It gives you some sense that opinions among the ultra-Orthodox have changed. Leitner's wife's opinion has certainly changed, but she does worry about one thing.
I worry more if you don't know how to hold a weapon, and I also want to know how to. I want a license for a gun also. We are not in Switzerland.
There is one more difficult thing he has to do with his family before he goes to serve. Tell his children, Yehuda, Elizabeth, and Abigail, 9, 7, and 6 years old. They play oblivious to the changes they're about to experience at home due to war.
Like the Advocate channel on Facebook for the best way to get updates on stories that advocate for equality, justice, our rights, and more. AC 24/7 continues with today's top 2 pick.
The Israeli military is in what the Prime Minister called a, quote, new phase of its war with Hamas.
We're going to fight for the homeland and we won't withdraw. We're going to fight on the ground, at sea and in the air. We will destroy our enemy above and below the ground. We're going to fight and win.
Israel's military said it exchanged gunfire with Hamas and struck targets in northern Gaza on Sunday. The death toll in Gaza has risen to nearly 8,000, according to the Palestinian Ministry of Health in Ramallah. And the United States is emphasizing the importance of protecting civilian lives in Gaza as the fighting escalates.
We stand firmly for the proposition that all measures should be taken that are reasonable and responsible to protect the lives of civilians.
Families of more than 200 hostages in Gaza are growing increasingly fearful for their missing loved ones as Israel steps up its operations in the enclave.
We want all back, and we don't care what they will give for that.
Israel's defense minister says rescuing the hostages is the military's top priority and that the fighting will expedite their return.
As we hit Hamas harder, there is a better chance that the enemy agrees to solutions to the return of our dear, loved, and beloved ones.
Among those being held hostage are some Americans, whom the Biden administration is working to get released.
We believe that there can still be a pathway to get their release, and we are going to work tirelessly to make that happen.
I'm Rob Kirkpatrick reporting.
Follow the Advocate channel on Twitter and Instagram to stay updated on stories that matter every day. Here's our #1 story of the day. Take a look.
Just weeks before he went on a rampage killing 18 people, the Maine National Guard asked local authorities to initiate a wellness check on Robert Card. A source telling CNN one National Guardsman was concerned Card is going to snap and commit a mass shooting. The Saginaw County Sheriff's Office went to the former reservist's home twice. A source telling CNN he wasn't home during one of those visits, prompting the sergeant who tried to check on him to send out a missing persons report. The other visit was on September 16th. This time they believed he was home. Card could be heard moving inside the trailer, but would not answer the door. Officers left without making contact. Deciding due to being in a very disadvantageous position, we decided to back away. Sources telling CNN a Saginaw County Sheriff's deputy spoke to his brother on September 17th. He told authorities he and his father would work with Robert to make sure he does not have any other firearms. It's unclear if any further action was taken after that, and a source told CNN the case appears to have been closed on October 1st, 24 days before the shooting. According to sources, the Maine National Guard initiated a wellness check because the reservists started hearing voices in the spring and say they had only gotten worse. The National Guard also informed the Saginaw County Sheriff's Office of his history of mental illness, including his stay at a psychiatric facility in July. According to a source, the National Guard was trying to get him to retire under the condition that he get mental health treatment. CNN started raising questions early on in the investigation.
As you stand here today, was law enforcement notified of the threats that he was making, of his condition?
I won't answer to any comments that she made, but based on what I've seen, we're going to continue to work through that.
A spokesperson for state police telling CNN Sunday, DPS has no regulatory authority over law enforcement agencies in Maine.
Thanks for watching the Advocate channel's top stories. We're on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. Follow, like, and share, or check out advocatechannel.com for even more stories that advocate for you.